Hello and welcome back to Storm Swords. This is the semi-finals between Ardeo Red and Suicide Solution. As you can see here, we've got Ardeo Red, the blue team on the left. We're going to have Patamat, team captain player, and Lieutenant Morales. Amazing to see that that drafted here. Thrall being played by Benapro, Muko on that Diablo, Jaina by Jarflip, and finally Chen being played by Fluffy Milky. Favourite name. And on the side of Suicide Solution, the red team on the right, we're going to have Zagara, played by Team Captain Miyagas, 1% playing Johanna, Slamjam on Malfurion, Slinger on Leoric, and Kaitani on Falstad. So lots of pings coming out here. There's, I think we've got a little bit of spamming going on. Not too sure what's happening. Oh. So much spamming. Okay. So, in the meantime, we're going to have actual creep blocks. This is the first time we've seen creep blocks in a long time, guys. We used to see this basically a chunk, but since then they've stopped doing it. But Tomb of the Spider Queen, a pretty good map to try and get some creep block on. If you try and push the creepy equilibrium just to your side, you're going to have a slightly easier spot going back to base, going back behind your wall into safety. After all this sort of shenaniganry happening, they clean up this middle wave nice and easily, missing out on one spider creep. So again, they did miss out on it, and then they go up to the top lane. Suicide Solution doing the 4 rotating, although they're keeping Johanna down, so doing the 1 rotating at the moment. And yeah, both teams doing what we see, the 4 roaming squad up from top to mid. As we've got Thrall versus Zagara in this bottom lane, duking it out. So Diablo just going in, taking a lot of damage. He's taking most of the focus, because Chen's healing himself up quite happily. Jane is staying in a safe location. Morales is just on that Diablo. Falstad could be in a bit of trouble here. Don't know if he's got barrel roll. Gonna have Malfurion Shadow Charge, and then overpowered. The Chen jump over to body block him just so that he can be caught up. And this looks like Slamjam's gonna fall. He looks like he's gonna be the first blood here. The body block's coming out from Morales, and Malfurion does die. So Ardeo Red take first blood. We'll see how. This is going 1% actually in a bad spot on that Johanna coming in trying to disrupt, but the body blocks are just too real. The Morales healing as well on the Diablo, taking tower shots as well as the Drain Hope from the Leoric, but it's just not enough, and Diablo stays alive. Benapro on the Thrall actually doing pretty well versus Miyagas here on that Zagara. She has to go tap the well. I don't know if Thrall has tapped the well. I'm using the old Blizzard UI, so can't select anything to see if anything's going on. One of the many flaws with it, but I do like it for the talents, obviously. Fluffy Milky taking damage, sort of. Just drinking his way through it all. So I just want to quickly talk about the drafts here. Both compositions have a double warrior, but Chen doesn't need healing, like, ever. Thrall has a lot of self-heal, and Diablo he's got a lot of health. So this Morales pick, like, focuses on the Diablo or the Jaina. That's basically it, swapping between the two. Maybe when fights happen, or Zagara's going to get picked up by the Thrall in the bottom lane. Maybe when fights happen, we'll see the Morales focus on healing the Thrall, but that'll be about it. She's not going to have a hard job here. Whilst Malfurion, the Falstad squishy, he's squishy. The Johanna, like, will need it because she doesn't have much self-heal. She's got a lot of health and really hard to lock down. Leoric's got enough healing, and Zagara should be staying in a safe range. But with like a Diablo and a Thrall, your squishies in the backline are not safe because they can just charge their way through. So let's have a quick look here. Chain Lightning-esque build looking for the Thrall. Zagara's actually going to not quite fall here. Benapro just about healing himself up and not quite enough as he takes that last extra tower shot. Miyagas escaping with no health whatsoever, and Jarflip maybe looking to apply some pressure. Maybe going to get ganked here. 1% on that Johanna come through. Not going to connect to the Condemn against her. She's going to be absolutely fine. Chen and Diablo getting a good hand in here. This isn't going to be all the gems they need, but with Patamat on that Morales, finishing that off, the last 3 needed. 6 moves on him. No full hand in yet for Suicide Solution. Do have Leoric using his Wraith Walk in there, maybe defensively, but then going back in semi-aggressively. Slamjam just taking so much damage from that Jaina. And I am a little bit worried about Suicide Solutions draft here. I mean, they've got the tools they need to deal with Ardeo Red, as the Malfurion gets overpowered over, and he looks dead. There we go. It's this tight little corridor here, and he was just body blocked Leoric. Falling low. No healer to keep him up, but he can tap the well, so that's pretty nice. We've got 5 members pushing with this top web weaver. The Zagara is still at bottom, trying to soak. They are half a level behind, and this web weaver in mid's gonna, well, with no ammo on these towers, just be able to do what it wants, really. Take the wall and then quite potentially put some damage onto the fort. Slinger in the front line on that Leoric, not going to drain hope off. He's going to get stunned and just end up falling. The cover damage from the blizzard is just too much, and 1% having to just about get his way out, but he's slowed. The Malfurion's here for the heals. Ardeo Red looking really dominant in this first game so far. Zagara's dealt with her web slinger bottom, so she's going to come deal with the one in middle. Very, very well played there by Team Captain. As the fort does fall, which is basically as much as you could wish for from... Oh, Zagara's getting caught up there, the Chen leap over, but she's not quite fall there, so nicely well played there. The Morales does end up dying to the fort. So, you know, consolation prize, as Jane and Thrall are able to dismount their opponents. Falstad flying over, maybe looking to get a slow off. Does hit on the Thrall, but he didn't fly quite far enough to pick up this kill, or did he? This self-heals coming out from Thrall is not going to be enough. He does end up falling to that Falstad, so very well played by Kaitani there. Yeah, as I was saying, Zagara doing a smart move. They, with the first web weavers, if you get a fort with it, you're in a pretty okay spot, and that was the case. So Ardeo Red looking strong. They're only about half level experience ahead though, so not potentially as much as you'd expect from having taken a fort and 2 walls. Zagara didn't even take both towers down in the bottom lane before she had to leave to go deal with the web weaver in the middle. So not even like a huge experience kind of thing going anywhere. So we've got some more gems being handed in here. And finally Zagara's going to get that hand in favour of Suicide Solution. So race to 10, Ardeo Red are about to reach it. Fluffy Milky soaking this bottom lane on the Chen will most likely get it if he takes all these creeps, but no, he's going to back off. And Suicide Solution, they need to be really wary of this, because Web Weavers or not, if they lose 10, they might lose a fight, and then all the Web Weavers get cleaned up without doing any pushing power. And that could be really, really bad. And as you see, Suicide Solution doing the exact right thing of not engaging. They know their opponents have got 10. We've got Barrel, Lightning Breath, not very... you know, I always disagree with the Lightning Breath choice. It's showy, but it doesn't feel like it does anything anymore. Stim Drone, Sundering, the typical. And finally, 10 is about to be reached here, but not before we get an engagement out here from from Ardeo Red. Miaga's on that Zagara going to end up falling to the Chen. Just barreled away, and that's a really, really good pick-off. Just picking a fight before Suicide Solution get 10 of their own. Devouring Maw has come out now. Mighty Gust. Entomb, not March of the Black King for Leoric, so hopefully going to cover his team, or maybe lock in that Morales or Jaina. I say cover his team. If he, like, entombs the warriors that have jumped in the Diablo and the Chen away from his healer, away from Morales, then that could be really, really good for taking them out quickly. We're going to have to get a giant killer build come out of Falstad here if we're going to see the tanks fall at all. As it stands, Morales taking Siege Camp down at bottom. Pretty even, still about a half level lead for Ardeo Red, and that's basically attributed to this fort going down. Relatively even kills, 6 for 3, not too much. I mean, obviously they've got double the kills, but when double the kills is 3, it's not a huge difference, especially since Ardeo Red hit 10 first. We're going to have a small engagement in the mid. Wraithwolf out. The Johanna's going to be able to unstoppable her way. That Iron Skin doing work. Dodging the Frostbolt. Miagas, again, just taking so much damage from the Thrall. Could have put himself in a bad position. Slinger's going to take a lot of damage. Wraithwolf is on cooldown. They can't commit too much. Kaitani on that Falstad, not going to get caught out. The Chen jumped in, maybe a bit too far as he's falling really, really quickly. The Mighty Gust going to come out, pushing them out away just as the Sundering comes down. So that's going to be a bad spot. Miagas on that Zagara going to get pushed away from this fight, back into the back lines, and she's going to end up falling.
Going to have the Lightning Breath coming out. Diablo can be completely countered by the Malfurion's Tranquility, but Falstaff's going to end up dying to the Jaina. Diablo not falling somehow, and finally we're going to get the lightning, the Chain Lightning hit the Leoric, and he's going to end up dying. So 3 for nothing there, and I love the fact that the Diablo was just at the front of the fight, taking all the damage, with the Morales just healing, despite obviously the Morales having to heal the Chen, because he did get caught out there. And then the Chen just barreled the Zagara into the back, and then without the Zagara they had very little damage. The Falstad wasn't doing enough as he was low, and then he got picked off. Just a well-fought fight for Ardeo Red, who are now a level and a half ahead. Ooh, sorry. Level and a half ahead. We're going to have next set of Web Weavers. Already most of the way done. Ardeo Red pushing with them in this bottom lane. They've taken all 3 forts now. And they can see that Falstad's up top defending against this Web Weaver. So they know they've got a 5v4 right now. Diablo doing his Lightning Breath, just damaging the structures a bit. Slinger fell kind of low to that actually. This Web Weaver, it's on its last legs, it's going to end up falling. I don't know whether or not we'll continue to see this engagement. Goes the Chen, does barrel up, he's not really doing what he's done with his last 2 barrels. It's Fluffy Milky though, he's getting caught out, he's just going to be killed by the keeps. Really good Entomb on the Morales, plus the Blessed Shield, she's going to end up falling. It's going to be a 2 for nothing. Defending this keep, it took over half health. Oh, and there goes the Falstad. He's going to barrel roll in. There goes the Mighty Gust, pushing the Thrall and the Jaina back. This is going to be another 2 kills, so really, really well played there by Katani, as he almost dies. And Benapro distracting, kiting, running. He'll end up falling. There you go, to the Leoric. Diablo, the only survivor, he's going to get a small hand in. Suicide Solution, catching back up. Back to only about half a level, 3/4 of a level behind. Taking their hard camp. They know they can't take too much of a hold against the objectives, because, like, for example, the boss, they'd be disrupted before they could kill it. They don't have the best lineup for doing so. And they're all pretty low from that engagement. Well, they weren't low, but, you know, they were at an uncomfortable stage at the end of that engagement, so... This hard camp's actually not going to do anything. It's just going to get cleaned up here by the 2 warriors of Ardeo Red. So we see this siege camp. Might see a push onto his bottom fort. It is about half health, so this is definitely the easiest objective for Suicide Solution to take. Especially with the siege camp pushing in. It's going to be reinforced by this creep wave. So nicely timed pick up there. We might see an engagement happening here. This means that the siege camp's going to be free to take down the fort, as long as we see them distract Ardeo Red. Suicide Solution, it's not the 16 fight yet, so they should probably look for some sort of engagement. And with Jaina still being at bottom, they can actually start a fight here. Fluffy Milky taking some damage on that Chen. His drinking's going to be interrupted, but he's going to go forwards. There's Sundering coming down. Foul not doing as much as it could do. The Zagara is getting pushed away, getting focused, and the Jaina Bliss is just going to do enough. The Devouring Maul really good though, landing on 2. Patamat in that Entomb from the Leoric, not going to end up falling. This is, the couples therapy is going to work. Malfurion having to ice block his way up, but he's just going to get killed. 1% of the Hannah will probably end up falling. The Leoric is overpowered away. I don't know if he'll be able to get out of this. He will not. Johanna will be. And there's a 3 for nothing again. I mean, the focus was there. They did some stuff to the Chen, who you know, you basically can't kill at this point. And then they went in on the Morales, but it was basically only the Leoric and the Johanna doing anything to the Morales as the Malfurion was dying, and the Zagara was dying to the Jaina in the back. So they couldn't damage the most, like... Obviously everyone says focus Morales. Morales is an important target to focus, but if you can't get to her, you need to do something about the front line. The Chen. Oh, and there's a really good Mighty Gust here as this boss fight is happening. It's going to be stolen by Suicide Solutions. Really well played there. Benapron, that Thrall going to end up falling. The Lightning Breath coming out of Diablo. Doing some work. Niaga's dying on the Zagara. So it's currently a 3 for nothing. And Kaitani trying to kill out Patimat on that Morales. Not going to be able to do so. Slam Jam going to end up falling. There goes the Ice Block to delay the inevitable. Distract them so the boss can get some more work done. Yeah, like I was saying, if you can't focus on Morales, you have to do something on the targets you can hit. And quite frankly, the Zagara was too busy walking around to worry and you know, to worry about dealing damage, and in the end she got a good more off, but she died for it, because the Jaina just dropped the Blizzard. Really good boss still though from Suicide Solution. They need this sort of things to keep themselves in the game. It's not about the boss taking forts, it's not about the damage the boss does, it's about not having to deal with a boss up against them. That's the main issue here. They don't want to go against advantages that Ardeo Red can you know, accumulate here, and we'll most likely see a hand in here, as Ardeo Red do have exactly enough gems to get this. Fluffy Milky holding most of them. Chen not going to get caught out. Diablo moving through. Took the correct pathing not to go that way. As Chen's now slowed, he's drinking his way up. Morales is coming in to cover this. And yeah, Chen's absolutely fine. Not enough gems for a hand in yet. Benapro actually taking a lot of damage from the false start. Katani just doing work. He's going to dodge the Feral Spirit barrel roll away, and he's going to do a lot of damage. Thor, though, with the Sundering, he's going to keep himself alive. The blind out from the Johanna is going to do work. The Mighty Gust going in the opposite direction, just disrupting his fight. Thrall is dead. And this is a really, really good fight for Suicide Solution, although we're going to have the Johanna and the Zagara picked up here by the Diablo, basically. On the other side, Slam Jam now caught out. Is a Malfurion in a bad spot. Falstad's may manage to get himself back to home, and it looked like a really, really decent start of the fight there, because nobody died. Falstad managed to 1v1 the Thrall. Sundering was used, and then the Mighty Gust disrupted the fight up here. But there was just no extra follow-up because the Falstad couldn't commit his damage, and yeah, then they ended up falling. So I think with this Diablo Chen pickup, they can both do kind of reasonable amounts of damage, whilst the Johanna doesn't really do much damage, and Leoric's damage mostly comes from his Drain Hope. He doesn't do a huge amount, but he can do some. As we're going to have another fight coming out here, the Mighty Gust pushing them down, actually saving the Morales away from this Entomb a little bit. She's going to get focused down. Falstad doing the work he needs to. The unstoppable Chen barreling his way to safety as Muko on that Diablo ends up falling pretty low. Might end up dying here. Might see a Sundering. No, the Lightning Breath almost coming down to do some decent damage, but it gets interrupted basically immediately by his death. Miaga's going to fall on Zagaru. We've got 1% the Johanna going to fall as well. Slam Jam on that Malfurion, picking up the Thrall, but that's going to be it. He's going to end up dying to the Chen and the Jaina. So a 2 for 5. Well, no, 3 for 5, because Diablo ended up falling. But he's back alive. I don't think he realises it. There you go, Mika. I keep being unsure of where all the damage comes from for Ardeo Red, because Suicide Solution, they've taken these fights and they're actually getting advantage at the start, and then suddenly they all drop really low, and then the Sundering comes out, and they're all a couple hits away from death, and the Chen just cleans up. And this keeps happening, and I'm not sure where this damage is coming from. It just seems to come out of nowhere. I mean, I know it's the Jaina, but still, working out well for them. Nothing unusual with the builds particularly. We're going to have the upgraded Lightning Breath out for Diablo, now that we've got 20 for Ardeo Red, who are 2 levels ahead. Forgot to talk about the level advantage here. Caduceus Reactor 2.0 for the Morales. Diablo's going to upgraded Lightning Breath his way to death as the Entomb came out. Didn't really matter because he was unstoppable and stationary. Hardened Shield out for the Chen, so now honestly you cannot kill him. And Ardeo Red still have double the kills of Suicide Solution. They still haven't lost a fort either. This fort top and bottom are both really low, but they still haven't lost a fort. With this keep having gone down in bottom, it means the bottom fort's probably not going to die. Not naturally anyway, they're going to have to push to do it. Third set of Web Weavers, or is it third or fourth set of Web Weavers coming out here for Ardeo Red? Oh, devouring more. Doing what it can. The Zagaro's not going to end up falling. The Tranquility has to come out though, keeping the Argus alive. And this is Tranquility not in a fight. That is a 100-second cooldown of of no fight here. Diablo still, it's a 4v5 because Diablo is still dead. But it's going to be awkward. Katana could get jumped on and barreled here, although barrel's still down for 25 seconds, so not going to be the case. I would love to see the Falstad fly over. Whilst they've got a 4v5, they're a talent point behind, but 4v5, fly over, Mighty Gust into the keep. try and pick off a Thrall and continue it to be a 4v5. They just need to pick off one kill without losing anybody. Consistently make this game a 4v5, and then they can start to win proper team fights. Because right now, every single time we've seen a fight from Suicide Solution, they've been doing well, and then suddenly they all die, and it ends up not being a good trade, and they end up losing. Oh, bit of a party bush here, out from Ardeo Red. And they're going to see that the Leoric's gone in, the Diablo overpowering him over. The Chen coming out with the barrels, going to land on the Zagara and the Falstad. Really, really good Lightning Breath coming out here. And this is basically the two tanks in the back, not really doing anything. Malfurion got a lot of the focus there, but he's not able to survive out. The Thrall just focusing him too hard. Leoric's going to die, as is the Chen, to the 2 DPS in the back. Falstad dodges the Sundering. Mighty Gust to disengage, but it is going to be a dead Johanna on the background. To the Jaina, the slow's just too much. 2 for 1 though, not the worst. And Chen, the unkillable monster, was killed, so we may see a decent defense coming out here, because it is defender's advantage with this keep, and the Leoric's going to be alive very, very soon. Slinger just looking to get that Drain Hope damage off on the Diablo. Well, not damage, but you know, healing. As he does come alive right here. Kaitan's being caught up there by the Thrall, and the Jade is going to get absolutely erased. Like, he died so quickly. Benapro diving deep. Attention from the ice. He uses Bolt of the Storm to get in there. Not expecting the Falstad to die so quickly, but he's going to end up being the response kill. The Leoric's back alive. The Entomb holding them in place. Jarflip getting focused by the keep here. Might end up dying, but the Diablo's back. The Diablo's in. He's lightning breathing his way. Destroyed the keep. And that's going to be doing enough to cover his team's retreat. Patamat falling low, not actually dying. Miagas on the Zagara, having to be healed up by the Malfurion, not able to be saved. As we got the Jaina bolting in just to get the last little bit of damage. She's still not dead somehow. She might end up killing Malfurion. Not going to do so. Jaina is still not dead. How is she not dead? She's just taking so much damage. The healing from Morales is just far too much. And Morales finally going to get Blessed Shield and killed. Jarflip on that Jaina. Going to end up dying. Is she? They can't do anything. The Chen's just disrupting them too much. Leoric's Wraith walking in. He's going hard for this. Blind out from the Johanna. And they're not going to pick up the Jaina at all. The Chen's was just covering her so much. It was so good by Fluffy Milky. Falstad flying in. Is he? Can he? No. Yes, he got her. Okay. Finally, the Hammerang coming out and doing what it needs to. Fluffy Milky on that Chen. Looking to retreat as well. We do have Epic Mount from Falstad, so we can see him fly out. Maybe in a moment. Oh, that Jaina survived for far too long. Jarflip, just cheeky. I bet he felt like he deserved to die far quicker than he did, and it was only with the Epic Mount coming out from the Falstad was he able to be picked up. And it almost didn't happen. Almost didn't happen. If the Jaina had a little bit more health, the Falstad's Hammerang wouldn't have killed her. So that's terrifying to think. Party Bush, up by the boss from Ardeo Red, who are 4v5. They don't have the Jaina. So we'll see if this fight works out for them. Kaitani, don't face check it. We're going to have Fluffy Milky jumping in. He's got the barrel. He might end up barreling. Yeah, baits out the Bolton Storm from this guy and then barrels in. Not really doing anything because the Leoric's unstoppable. There goes the Mighty Gust disengaging. Now they're looking for a fight, so maybe wanted to not use the Mighty Gust there. We're going to have no Epic Mount come out because obviously no Mighty Gust. It's now 5v5 again as the Jaina is about to join. But barrel is used. Barrel's down for 50 seconds longer. And Falstad, Mighty Gust doesn't have a cooldown, let's be honest. So Falstad actually he flies back down to go and defend this, so they know that this is a one fight if they engage on it. So Suicide Solution, they have to back off. Ardeo Red. Chain Lightning from Thrall hitting all 4 of them. Gonna have the Leoric. Just be able to Wraith Walk his way to safety, so he's okay. Heal out from Malfurion, just doing so much work. No forts have died yet still. 4 Suicide Solution. Ardeo Red just keeping all of their forts. They've got 2 keeps, and they're just looking basically for the next hand-in or boss. Try and push that last keep and maybe try and close out the game. This fort's on solo health. We've got some pings out here. Need assistance. They're setting up a party bush. Ardeo Red looking to make a fight happen. Fluffy Milky jumping in. He's got the barrel again.
The two tanks of Suicide Solution, they're not in a great spot, and Slingers take a lot of damage. A Mighty Gust coming out, but... And it goes to Stim Drone on the Thrall, who's just going to absolutely obliterate the Falstad. Is he, though? He's going to take focus. Have to use the Sundering to cover his retreat. Leoric dies first. Miagas dying to Fluffy Milky, who's dived the keep for this. This is a 3 for naught now, as the Leoric died as well earlier on. Falstad got picked up. So he was just in a rough position. And there goes the barrel out from Chen, saving it for the last minute. Fluffy Milky pushing the Johanna back. Her Indestructible's going to pop. It's not going to be enough. She'll end up dying. There you go, Patamat picking that up on his Morales. Malfurion died to the Thrall in the back, and that is going to be GG game number 1 going to Ardeo Red. Suicide Solution. They hung in there for a long time, but they end up just over half the death, half the kills. Don't know why I'm yawning so much. I do apologise for that, but yeah, well played to Ardeo Red. Suicide Solution, showing that they can potentially take a game off Ardeo Red, who haven't dropped a map yet. So we'll see how they fare in game number 2.